Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I want to answer the question today. Can a Christian have a demon? I am going to say yes. First of all, a believer, a Christian, can never be possessed by the devil because we are the possession of Christ. However, a believer can be demonized or oppressed. There's a lot of different language for this. And I was one of them. I was a Christian. I love Jesus. I was going to Jesus conferences all over the world. I was attending church. I had my prayer language, and yet I was full of demons. My husband and I went through a process called inner healing and deliverance. Inner healing is really dealing with the issues of the soul, beliefs, forgiveness, all of those different areas. And then the deliverance part is the casting out of demonic spirits. And we had no idea that we were demonically oppressed until we went to a minister and began to work with her. And we realized that many of the issues we were dealing with were spiritual. And what happened on the third night, it was a 6-day intensive that we went to. And on the third night of that intensive, I had a dream. Before I went to bed, I prayed and I said, Lord, can you let me know if anything is happening in our sessions? Because we were doing a lot of repenting and renouncing, and I wasn't sure if anything was happening. Well, the Lord gave me a dream that night, and in the dream, my husband and I were in our honeymoon. It was so beautiful. There were white linens everywhere, and it would look like the Caribbean. And we were in a house, we were swimming, and then we were in this house. Well, in the middle of the bed, there was a box, and the box was a black mamba snake, contained a black mamba snake. I took the lid off the box. I grabbed the snake. I held it up, and my husband was on the other side of the bed. He grabbed the other half of the snake, and I took a knife and I killed the snake, and we put the snake back in the box. And I woke up and I heard the Lord so clearly in my heart to keep going, and that we were actually destroying the demonic spirits that had been in our marriage. And I just reminded of Moses' when he held up his staff and how it turned into a snake, and Aaron's staff turned into a snake, and how his staff ate up the other staffs. And so the spirit realm is real. Christians can have demonic oppression. And one of the things that really breaks my heart today is hearing this lie that Christians cannot need deliverance. I would say that there's a reason why Jesus did deliverances. 1/3 of his ministry was physically healing people, doing deliverances. He raised the dead. He was casting out demons. He was cleansing the leper. This was the ministry of Jesus, and therefore it is the ministry of every single believer. And so I just want to encourage you today that, to know that, like, hey, if you need deliverance, it's okay. And if you're wondering, if this is true, seek it out with the Lord. I never tell people, hey, you have to believe what I'm telling you. I'm just simply offering my testimony and putting it out there so that you can be aware and you can pray and ask the Lord for him to show you what the truth is. But I will say this, after my husband and I went through our deliverance session on the very last day of our intensive, I felt peace like I'd never felt before. I could feel things leaving my body. I felt nausea, and I knew that whatever had been with me my whole life was suddenly gone. And the effects of that deliverance session today is that I have peace that surpasses understanding. I don't have the fear that I used to have, the anxiety that I used to have. I did not realize anxiety is a spirit. It doesn't mean that we won't have moments where we feel anxious or we feel fear or we have moments of feeling things. But I will say this, that those things are actually demonic spirits as well. And sometimes if we've partnered with them or opened doors to certain things in our life, if we've done witchcraft or, just different things, I'll do in a different video why we need deliverance. But because of all the things my husband and I have been through, we didn't grow up in the church, we didn't grow up as believers, we needed deliverance. And it's completely normal if you need it too. So I want to leave you with hope today that, hey, if you need deliverance, just know that it's normal, and seek out someone to pray for you. Seek out someone who can pray over you, who can cast out those demons, and not just pray, but actually do spiritual warfare do what Jesus did, the casting out of demons. It's normal, and deliverance is for the church. So I bless you today.